Welcome to Indira Gandhi National Open University. Today we are going to see the topic Developing Values in Children. This topic is part of the course BEDS 001. I am myself Dr. G. Uma, faculty in the School of Gender and Development Studies, Indira Gandhi National Open University. Let us see the developing values in the children with regard to sustainable development. Let us start. Development of values cannot be a short term affair, that all of us we must accept that. It should be a very long period. The development of values itself a process. So it requires education over a long period of time, which should be initiated as early as in the childhood, when the foundation for future life is laid. So any values if we want to inculcate with our children, it should be start in the earlier period. That should be initiated as early as possible. Probably in the early childhood itself, one must start initiating values among children, as rightly stated by Sugarman in the year 1973. In all economically developed societies, what we are considering them as economically a developed society today, what we are, some of the countries we are witnessing that they are economically well developed, it is taken for granted that children from the age of 5 onwards would spend a large part of their day away from their families, and they spend their considerable percentage of time at schools where they will be in charge of teachers. So it is the responsibility of the teachers who they inculcate values among children. At least 10 years of the child's life would be spent in this way. So in the developed nations, like what we are considering in the 21st century, some of the countries we consider them as more developed, like United States, some of the European countries. So those countries, if you look at if you have a discussion about how they are inculcating values among the children, means the children, they spend considerable percentage of their time every day in the schools. It is responsibility of the teachers, and these teachers, they inculcate various values about life among children. So at least 10 years of the child's life would be spent in this way. Therefore, as far as academicians and researchers are concerned, school has an overall important effect on its pupils. It goes without saying that teachers have to take the responsibility of developing values. Reflectively or unreflectively, teachers teach values to pupils through rewards and punishments, reinforcements and models. But such efforts are not conscious and deliberate, rather uncontrolled. Value development will require conscious, planned and deliberate attempts of the school and the teachers. Now we have understood that teachers, they are the responsible to inculcate values among pupils through rewards and punishments, reinforcements and models. But such efforts are not conscious and deliberate, rather uncontrolled. As far as Rani is concerned, her study is published in 2005. As we have seen, value development will require conscious, planned and deliberate attempts of the school and the teachers, where consciously if they inculcate values among children, among pupils in the schools, it will bring expected changes among children in the school. Hart in the year 1997, often we try to educate children about environmental problems, equality, participation and many other such issues, but not for these problems. Education in the later case would not remain confined to passing on loads of information for memorizing and forgetting, but also include internalization of the information, development of skills and attitudes to meet these challenges. We need to allow students to think, reflect, discuss, debate and act rather than listen to what has been thought and done. Children also need to understand that values for sustainable development, it is for us rather than someone else to act. Besides, only through direct development of participation can children develop a genuine appreciation of democracy and a sense of their own competence and responsibility to participate. Here we need to understand that we have to allow children or students to think, reflect, discuss, debate and act rather than listen to what has been thought and done. For example, if we talk about values for sustainable development, so we need to make the children to visit nearby parks. We need to visit the children to look at the animals. We need to allow children to create a small gardens in their own house. We need to children to think about the using of the existing resources in a more sustainable way. Okay, we can teach all these things scientifically to the children. Unless and until if they don't internalize, it is very difficult for them to make these values as part of their life. So it is very important to not only teach the children about the values about sustainable development, whatever it is values about education, like various values we considered as an important for the children, and it will help the children to grow as a sensible citizen in the country. So whatever values we think that it is very important for the children to grow as a very responsible citizens of the country, we need to inculcate those values among children. In this session, we are particularly concentrating on sustainable development. As far as sustainable development is concerned, it is not only teaching the children about the values of sustainable development or values of sustainable way of living, rather it is very important to make the children to act in this way. Like they can do small activities, like for example, if they we need to tell the children that growing the food for our own consumption, then we can make the children to grow 1 or 2 vegetables, whatever the small space available inside near available in the school, or they can grow those vegetables in a pot in their own family. Even schools can also develop a small garden where the children, each children can be given a small space where they can they can do whatever they think that it is very important for their own life. So they can use the space and they can innovate and they can learn whatever while doing certain things. Certainly it's easy for them to learn. So it is very important to not only listen what we are teaching, it is very important to act based on the teaching, that is very important for the children to make them very responsible to participate in the development of the community, not only development of the community, it is the overall development of the entire state or the country. Therefore, it is important for children to be aware of the issues of poverty, inequality, conflict, environmental and other contemporary challenges and play a role in addressing them as they directly participate in the activities of the school and community. It has been rightly said that education for the environment is a process of inquiry and action on real environmental issues. That is what I told you. Like it is not that when we talk about environmental issues, we can teach the children in a scientific way regarding the environmental degradation, how to concentrate on environmental issues. It is very important for the children to aware about the various, for example, environment. If you take an environment, certainly the destruction of environment directly bring the inequality, conflict and poverty. I will explain you how destruction of environment bring the poverty among children and women. If you take for an example, women, wherever they live, they are closely, the existing study clearly points out that the women are they are very close to their nature due to their reproduction capacity. If they are close to the nature, women usually they collect various herbs, certain vegetables, certain greens from the nearby forest or nearby places for their own consumption, as well as they know the usefulness of certain herbs and certain plants. If they started destructing the existing environment, it certainly affect the food security of the women. If they affect the food security of the women directly, it have an impact on the children also. So that may lead to, if the food security is threaten the women and children, and it will bring poverty among those groups. And if they don't have an access to natural resources or common property resources, it may bring inequality in the society. So there will be a conflict due to the environmental degradation. So these things we can explain the children about the whatever the issues related to the destruction of environment. When we talk about the poverty, inequality, conflict and environmental issues, they can directly act and they can learn while doing those activities. For example, we can take the children we can send the children along with the women in the nearby forest, and the women they themselves they can able to teach the significance of certain plants and herbs and its usefulness. In that way, the children they come to know that there is a indigenous knowledge among women so children rightly they understand that they can learn many issues related to environment who are very close to the nature. Such an inquiry process demands that students actively engage in critical or active thinking about real problems. The development of knowledge, skills and values is not only directed towards action but emerges in the context of preparing for and taking an action. That is Teaching for Sustainable World. This was quoted by Krishna Kutner, Bablu Mohammad Nazir and Mahadevan in the year 2005. That is whatever I have explained regarding the while teaching, while they can do certain actions when they learn. So such an inquiry process demands that students actively engage in critical and active thinking about real problems. The development of knowledge, skills and values is not only directed towards action but emerges in the context of preparing for and taking action. So when we inculcate certain values or certain skills among children, it is not only they became more skilled, but we are making the children to preparing for and taking actions. When they grow, they are very environmentally conscious and they can able to take certain actions. They can keep those values in their life till their last breath. So it is very important to inculcate certain values among the children, and we need to teach those values. That values is not only directed towards action but emerges in the context of preparing for and taking action. Then we need to further talking about the role of children in sustainable development. As you all know, so far I have given the introduction about the significance of inculcating certain values among the children regarding the sustainable development. Now let us see the role of children in sustainable development. The concept of sustainable development must promote public involvement in environmental management at the local level. This will come only from the citizenry that feels truly involved in its own local community, not one that simply responds to universal environmental dicta passed on by the media regarding what constitutes universal ecologically good behavior. The UN Convention on the Rights of the Children recognizes children as developing citizens. Accordingly, the involvement of children in environmental movement should not be limited to cramming the lines from media but has to be grounded in their own daily lives. Children need to be involved with the larger community of adults in the improvement and ongoing monitoring of their environment. Children's natural desire to be in contact of nature should be fed with opportunities of contact over an extended period of time. Education for sustainable development therefore has to be process of learning to make decisions pertaining to the economy, politics, natural environment, above all equity. This is more important. This was stated by Hart in the year 1997. It has been rightly stated that although we are teaching in the present, we are preparing students for the future. The strength of our curricular tools is measured through the life actions of our students. The impact of our methodology will be determined by the next generation. This was stated by or quoted by Huskin in the year 1990. It is difficult to listen the activities or spell out the model curriculum for developing values for sustainable development. Therefore, broad programs with goals leading to sustainable development have been suggested, on the basis of which you may think of specific activities as per the ground realities of your school and the community. Next topic we are going to discuss is nurturing activities. Activities have to be planned so that children respect and cherish their natural environment. In many schools, the practice is to confine children within classrooms and teach them about the environment through textbooks. This was stated by Bosch in the year 2005. The information is thus bookish that may not translate into values and attitudes. Hence, there should be more opportunities for children to come in direct contact with nature and explore it. Using media to acquaint children with the environment, that is the another important area we need to understand. Then how media can be used to make the children to acquaint with the environment. The print and the audio and video media have a powerful influence on our young minds. Books rich in colorful pictures, for example, if the books is very colorful, young small children they get attracted. For example, if the plants or animals or forest, either if they paint or if they draw or if they click the photograph of the particular places in a very colorful manner, the book was prepared with the so much of pictures and less on writings. Small children, young minds, they get attracted towards this book. So books rich in colorful pictures, videos, films and television programs have a strong impact on children. However, these should be chosen with care. So we have to be very careful. We need to choose that what type of pictures are we showing to the children, what kinds of books are we introducing to our children, what type of films we are allowing our children to watch. That is very more important, because that is whatever the colorful pictures, videos, films, television programs, certainly they have a strong impact on children. However, these should be chosen with care. That is what I am mentioning. We have to choose these books or pictures or videos, films, television programs. We have to choose these programs with the care. They should provide correct information about the environment without compromising on the factualness. So we have to be very careful. First thing, whatever the books, films, videos, television programs we choose, that books, the whatever medium we are choosing to introduce our children regarding the sustainable development, on environmental issues, on about the forest, about the plants, about the animals, about this ecosystem or ecology or whatever we want to introduce to our children, the books, we have to be very careful in choosing the books, pictures, videos, films, television programs. First thing is that the book should be give the very fact, should be fact, whatever they mentioned, the fact mentioned in that books or pictures, videos, films should be, fact should be correct. It has to provide the proper information to the children, that is very important. That first point we all must remember, that choosing the books, videos, films, television program is very important, but what kind of books, pictures, televisions we are choosing is also very important. The chosen medium should provide the proper information, and they have to give the fact to the issues to our children. Then next important medium is the role play. Role play with children, playing the roles of plants, animals, could make them empathize with them. Like, so for example, if for the children, if they play like an animal, play like, if they act like a plant, then certainly they imagine themselves as a particular plant or animal. So when they when they act like a certain plant or animal, they create certain kinds of empathy towards the animals and plants. Certainly they get the nurturing quality towards the animals and plants. So role playing as a hero on the safari, who does not shoot with a gun but with a camera, a vet who like a veterinary doctor who curing the animals, can influence the impression in the minds of the young children. Whatever the impression created at the young stage, at the younger age among children, that impression can influence the children in their later stage of their life. So role play is a very important medium to influence the children on particular issue. With regard to environmental issues, sustainable development issue, it can really an important medium. Through this medium, we can create an impression among our children. Next one is the cultural activities. Cultural activities, that is the epic and folk tales, songs and dances, puppetry, skit that speak of close bondage between man and nature, can introduce children to traditional knowledge about healthy interaction between man and environment as an age-old practice. Next one is the reusing, recycling and reducing consumption. Storing waste paper, broken glass, metallic things and sending them for recycling, donating old books to libraries, using paper colors and other things in a very economical manner, saying no to polythene bags, switching off electrical appliances while leaving the room can become lifelong habits in conservation and for, of course, for the economy. If they practice from the childhood, later stage also they use the resources, whatever the available resources, those resources they will use in a very economical manner, very in a sustainable manner, and if they started using the resources in a very economical manner, automatically the wastage will reduce. Even if they like certain wastages, like for example whatever the biodegradable wastages like vegetable waste or plant waste, even they can convert those waste into like gold, like they can convert the waste and same can be used for as an used to nourish the plants. It's so very important to inculcate certain values among the children, especially reusing, recycling and reducing consumption. This is very important. These values needs to be inculcated among children. Not only inculcating the values, from the childhood we should ensure that the children, these values are part of their life. For example, once they complete the particular year, like from the beginning of the year, school year, we need to ensure that they are maintaining their notebooks and school books in a proper manner. After they pass out in the particular year, certainly either they can donate the books to the library or they can donate their books to the younger children. Then the paper, they are using the paper, they can use the paper in a very sustainable manner, and they can send the store the wastage in a proper manner. They can store the broken glass, metallic things. Always whenever they are whenever they are using the waste, we have to teach them to segregate the biodegradable and non-degradable waste. And if they started segregating from the childhood, even schools, at this home, we can introduce the two kinds of baskets in the school. So they ask them to segregate the waste and ask them to put it in a separate basket. So if it's a biodegradable, they can convert into manure. If it's not biodegradable, they can send the waste to the waste segregating plant. There they can properly segregate. So these, not only talking about these issues to the children, we need to involve them in segregating the waste, and they have to be they start doing this from the childhood, like reusing, recycling and reducing the consumption. So here we need to talk about the gender equality. Gender equality, as per UNESCO, pursuit of gender equality is central to sustainable development. The socio-cultural biases against women need to be overcome, and the right place to begin, it could be schools. We need to aware of the barriers to the participation of girls in poorer families and in many societies. Household work, working in the fields, and like keep girls away from schools. They may also not be involved in decision making. That should be addressed at the school level. This was stated by the Hart in the year 1997. Nurturing faith in democracy. Right from childhood, democracy has to be grounded in the way of life through participatory practices. Dewey equated schools to communities and education to a school process. Noam Chomsky in the year 1994 shared these views of Dewey and expressed that the ultimate aim of production is the production of free human beings associated with one another on terms of equality. Towards inclusiveness, sustainable development, it is crucial that the society is inclusive and the disabled are not marginalized. Therefore, education has to be inclusive. One of the objectives of the education for equality and inclusiveness, that is the flagship pertaining to inclusive education, is to educate all children together for their mutual benefit. The other objective is to change attitudes towards such children by forming the basis for a just and non-discriminatory society which encourages people to live and learn together. It is rightly being advocated that human differences are natural and contribute to the richness of every society and must be reflected in the schools. This was stated in UNESCO in the year 2004. Next important point is nurturing ability to think critically and solve problems. Right from the preschool stage, children are encouraged to cram information and reproduce it during assessment. This practice may not nurture the abilities to think critically and solve problems required for lifelong learning and for participating in social and political events. Empowerment of people needs abilities like thinking originally, raising questions, seeking solutions, making strategic choices and awareness of rights. Next is developing communication skills. Children should be helped in the development of communication skills necessary for participating in social processes later on. Impromptu narration of incidents, stories and events by children should be encouraged so that the hesitation in verbal communication is eliminated. Next one is respecting cultural diversity. Universal Declaration of Cultural Diversity in 2001 has raised cultural diversity to rank of common heritage of humanity. It also considers cultural diversity as an asset for poverty reduction and sustainable development. One of the key action themes for ESD pertaining to cultural diversity, and as per the Johannesburg Declaration in 2002, cultures must be respected as the living and dynamic context within which human beings find their values and identity. Next is getting familiar with the role of ICT as a tool for learning. It's very important that there is a digital divide between those empowered by their access to information and communication technology and those marginalized due to its inaccessibility. Multimedia CDs for education and entertainment and computer assisted learning programs with content in multimedia when used in classrooms will encourage children to use ICT as a tools for learning. Life skill education as per Dakar framework for action, learning needs of young people are met through equitable access to appropriate learning and life skills program as key goals, along with other important objectives related to literacy, numeracy, gender equality, early childhood education. There should be a partnership between school and community. Community need to work together. Children could also carry out activities like patrolling, educating, reporting and holding campaigns to save and improve the environment, preventing waste, recycling, cleaning, sharing and caring, greening, adopting a monument and remove graffiti. Green Club, it can offer a wonderful opportunity to create awareness, build attitudes and help students in taking up environmental activities in the real world. The activities undertaken may be relatively simple, like keeping the school surrounding clean, to complex ones like carrying surveys of the locality for determining environmental issues and acting upon them. So far I have explained the various indicators. In those, based on those indicators, we need to educate our children to make them environmentally conscious, and they have to lead a sustainable development. Thank you so much for listening this lecture. I will again meet you in some other lecture.